All right, guys. Welcome back to the One Pop Podcast, episode 24. Your boy CN.
Yo, it's Donville.
Trev.
And Dennis. And I have an announcement to make. It's
Who's pregnant?
You're for real, dog. Yeah. I was like, yo.
I rebuked that in the name of Jesus.
I know, dog. The Bible said be fruitful and multiply.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, kids and blessings, Dennis.
Yes, yeah. Multiply.
I'm all right.
Your life's about to change, man.
See, the tax season coming a little bit too soon for me to run one of those, dog.
Nah, man, help your taxes.
Yeah,
yo.
actually,
that's a tax
for you.
When they come out.
You have to come out. You have to come out
they don't
like
have to
next.
come. Wait,
No, that boy got to be on the block before
I'm
you
trying
do
to
anything
think.
from taxes,
Yeah.
dog. Nah, bro.
Maybe.
It's too
We
soon
sound
for
like
that.
such great fathers.
Hey,
Just saying.
Boy, in all
if you
seriousness,
time it right, you get
Yeah.
a refund.
I was sitting there. I went
Make
over.
plans for next year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I went over my boy Chris's house one day after work, and I lost in Tekken.
What?
You
Chris-
act as if this is the first
This
time
is
in your
great.
life.
This is
You're
great.
Chris Rosen.
See, I mean, but here's the thing though. Like, granted, like he can play though. Like, he can really play. So we started going like back and forth, and I would beat him with a couple of characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he just come back like a wave. Like, as soon as he got used to like my play style, he started doing it to me. He
Combos.
plays the same way that you do. So it was interesting. So I was like, okay. I was like, you got me in this one. I was like, you got me in this one. I was like, I got to get my mojo back, dog. And then we ended up playing whatchamacallit, Ninja Storm 4,
Yeah.
Road to Boruto.
Yeah.
Put them hands on him with Minato, dog.
Woo.
Minato and Neji.
They showing
Pull the game
him
out.
some of them unlimited that we got, dog.
Watch, dog. Yo, you know how many people don't know about them body flicker combos where you like flick the controller and pulls out a move?
Don't tell them, dog.
Yeah, dog.
That's how we get them unlimited.
Dang.
I put that ninja seal on him, the one he puts on the kunai.
Yeah, and just you can teleport on top of him
Exactly.
or where he is,
Combo
and on
City,
top of
dog.
him.
Yo, speaking of Tekken, I'm excited about that PlayStation Classic that's coming out in
Oh,
December. Y'all
dog.
heard
I
about
gotta
that,
go
right?
to the mall
Yeah.
and pre-order it.
Like, my thing is, I've never had a
PS1
PlayStation.
Classic.
I've always been Nintendo,
Yeah.
Xbox.
You never see.
That's true,
have
dog.
So
you
this
seen
is
what
my
it looks
chance to
like?
really, yeah, I've seen it. It's like mad
Oh my
small.
gosh, dog.
This
That
is my
thing's
chance to,
beautiful.
you know what I'm saying, get into the Sony scene. It
Well-
comes with like Tekken 3, Final Fantasies on there.
Pretty much all the
like-
games that
yeah.
people was talking reckless about.
I'm hoping Twisted
Yeah.
Metal's on there, man.
It has to
I
be
mean,
that.
look,
Yeah.
there's a game like Dragon Guard. Look, you see how you guys talking
Oh,
about
okay.
the classics.
December
Yeah.
6th, I think.
Soul Calibur is coming out.
Oh yeah, this
Yo.
coming
Oh,
out.
dog.
Yep.
We know.
the
We know.
beta?
We need,
We
we need a tournament. We need a tournament.
Yeah.
We know.
We need
So
a game night. Matter of
no,
fact,
we ain't a downfield.
it's probably gonna be
I
my house.
want a Soul Calibur one. I want all the smoke.
You
I'm
gonna run
taking
game
all the
night?
smoke.
I should probably November. We'll do something like that.
That.
Yo, I want all the smoke. Right? Kite Fly Online. If anybody wants him in Thames, Soul
'cause I
Calibur
know-
coming out.
Real
Yo,
smoke.
no, I want all the smoke, Trev. Because Trev, I went online and I played this dude who had Mitsurugi. Right? I'm a Taki fan.
Yeah.
So I took my girl Taki in the first fight. I was sitting there trying to feel him out, and he got on the mic and he was like, "Yo, you even know what a beating feels like?" I was like, "No, we don't want to find out."
Dang.
Oh, you got on the mic and started talking?
Yeah, we did it. So he was talking. This is like the night before the beta finished, right? So I had to give him a small little school. So the first fight I tested him out. It's not the first fight. I'm gonna say the first round, the first match. I tested him out, and I stepped around. I let him hit me a couple of times because I didn't want to pull out all the cool stuff yet. So he drop him reckless, right? So he dropped me in the first round. Second round, I was like, okay, let me pump it up a little bit. All right. So and then he caught me in a ring out. So he was talking all the smack. So after he started talking all the smack, and I say I want all the smoke because prior to this fight, right, I just had 12 perfects.
Oh wow.
So-
So you was just on fire.
Yeah, I was on fire,
Let's go.
but he didn't know, right? So within that fight, right, he got me in the ring out. So after that, I got 3 perfects back to back, and then he quit. He quit. Right, as the word "perfect" popped up, so I kind of took a snap of it and made sure I sent him a message, so he didn't forget. But I want all the smoke. Tekken is coming. I'm sorry, Soul Calibur is coming out.
Soul Calibur,
and I'm ready for it, yo.
So like the servers on Soul Calibur were kind of slow, like they were kind of laggy at first, and like
yes, they was.
We were on the mic together, and we couldn't find anybody at first, so we opened it up to like World Gen or whatever, and then after about like 20 minutes of it sitting there, I honestly forgot that it was even loading because I started like airbrushing shoes or whatever. Yeah. And then all of a sudden I hear the sound. I'm like, all right, cool. Pulled out Maxi, did my thing. Pulled out Maxi again, did my thing. Then I had somebody use my girl Talum on me, and he did it to me. So I was like, okay, they made her faster. So I went ahead and I pulled out my chick because like that's my number one female other than Sophitia.
Sophitia is
she's dope.
Yeah, Sophitia is a boss, dog. So like it's her, whatever. So like basically I pulled her out and I ended up fighting this dude that had Ivy. And if anybody knows me, I fight Ivy a lot because Cian's wife likes to use Ivy.
Yes.
So it was
she button mashing. She pretty good with her too. That button mashing, bro.
Button mashing
she
pro,
run into
man.
me again. So
No, but I'm just saying in the fact of if you guys play video games, you guys understand, especially fighting games, it takes a lot to pull off some of these combos.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
right. And to watch her pull these combos out, button mashing with a controller, and then when you sit and you try to figure out how she did it, and you realize what it took to get it out, and you realize what she did to make it happen, it fathoms me. You feel me? So if she runs this, Dennis can play. So if she runs into Dennis is going to know how to play defense and block and stop, and attack. But if she runs into somebody who's never played to that level to understand, you're going to get washed. Yeah, she will catch you. And just to see her do it, you're like, bro, do you know what button you pressed to make this happen? No.
I remember one time she had caught me. I was sitting there. I was beating the dog-ish out of her. And all of a sudden, I see an Ivy sword like break and like split into the air.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there like, yo, what the hell?
What just happened?
Like, and they all came down like arrows. And I had to I put the controller down for a second. Like, I let her move around for a second because I had to register what I just saw.
Yeah.
And then I looked up the move, and it's insanely difficult.
It's
like one of those crazy.
Yo, I literally I had to pause it and find it. Now I got so
all those buttons.
No, that's what it took. It took, and you're like, yo, did you just?
You'll never see that happen again.
Yeah. No,
she did it like 3 times.
She made it happen.
Crap.
Like she'll do it. It's just to watch her. To watch it happen, and I'm very big in configuration. So whenever I play fighting games, I try to make sure the controller is configured and tailored to my needs. So I will say yes, I may add a button or two on a controller that she may be pressing that has a combination that would help. But even so, even when I don't configure the controller, she still is pulling these things off. With it. So I want to say we calling out all the smoke for Soul Calibur when it comes out.
Just to add onto that, Akuma's Raging Demons in Tekken,
yes,
it's unblockable.
Oh,
I showed Chris that like 3 or 4 times, dog. Like I beat the life out of him with Akuma, dog. But
so at least we hear it in Street Fighter.
Yes, but like on my my fight with Talum or whatever, I had a dude. We were going. It wasn't really back and forth. I won literally all 4 matches. And I perfect him on the last one on purpose. Because, the first match or whatever, we're sitting there going... Because we ran 2 sets. The second set, I beat him every single match. But the first set, he kicked me off of the ledge. And that's one thing about Soul Calibur that is annoying. If people don't know how to fight, they will back you to the ledge and trip you and kick you off.
That ring out, man, sucks.
Exactly. So,
but and then, not to cut Dennis, they do have a couple maps that is grounded in the sense that there's no ring out. But when they come up on those ring out maps, I really don't like it. It changed the dynamic of the fight.
And the thing with Soul Calibur is sidestepping is very popular. So sometimes you give them a sidestep and boop, you're out.
Yeah, with certain people that don't work, dog. You'll try to sidestep them and they'll catch you. Like Killick now.
Yeah, that's my dude right there, Killick.
Yo, I couldn't sidestep. I couldn't beat anybody that used Killick. Because he sweeps now. Like,
Yeah.
wide range sweep.
Oh,
So like
nice.
I sat here and I tried to sidestep the dude. He brought the stick around his neck from the other side
Yo.
and still caught me.
Yeah.
Nice.
But like,
All right, I'm
boy,
excited now.
we're sitting there after he like tripped me off of the ledge that first set or whatever. I ended up the next fight, kicked him off the ledge again. And then I won that set. And then the next set, the final fight, like I was sitting there just whooping on him. He couldn't do anything because I know how to fight Ivy.
Yeah.
So I was sitting here. I knew what move he was using. I would step into the range point where like he couldn't touch me.
Yep.
And you see the sword like flying around like everywhere. And I'm standing there just doop, 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 doop. And I beat him over to the ledge. And this is where it got interesting. I beat him over to the ledge. And he sat there, and the second he got there, and I knew like if I hit him, he would fall off. I backed all the way up to the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
I didn't want. I did not
Yeah,
want
all
to
the
win like
smoke.
that. All the smoke, dog. I
Yeah,
backed
come
all the way
back.
back. He still hasn't touched me once. So then he comes up with his special move or whatever. I dodge out of the way, roll through, drop kick, catch him with the special, and I literally got it on video on the PlayStation with a picture that I posted on Facebook, by the way.
Yeah.
With her using her special move on that last hit, perfect. All the win circles filled in, no move, no life lost, everything, dog. Like perfect shot.
And I got
And
him
then
all the
he
smoke.
backed out of the lobby after that. Like it was
Yeah.
done.
It's like, I'm done.
Incredible.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Nice.
But the PlayStation Mini is coming with 20 games on it. It's
Yeah,
$100,
20
free
games.
promotion.
How much is it?
It's 100.
Yeah, $99.
It's not that bad.
It's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's 100.
And two controllers.
Yeah, two controllers. Two controllers. Because I
So
remember
we got to
when
get them. We definitely got to
when
have a
the
tournament.
NES came out, the
Yeah.
NES Mini came out, it only came with one. And you had
Oh,
to
okay.
pre-order a controller too.
That's
dog.
crazy.
The SNES Mini came with two.
Yeah.
And this one's coming with two. It's coming with two controllers, the console itself, and a mini memory card. When
That's
was the
dope.
last time you touched one of those things?
That's dope.
Never.
You never had a PS1?
No.
Ever?
No.
And you-
I
Yeah, see,
went
me neither,
straight
man.
to PS2.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Trevor's
You
like,
might
I
probably
got
get
That's what I'm getting. I'm like, I never got a chance to
Sure,
because I always go
it was
go over
expensive
friends'
back in the
houses
day, yo.
and play the
Yeah,
PlayStation, but I never had my own.
I was on the
Right.
I
same
definitely
tip,
get
but
it.
I was always interacting with one. Like,
Yeah.
But it's coming. So far, they announced a couple of them. You got Final Fantasy VII, which of course
That'll
It's
be
a
dope.
given.
that's a big deal. The first Wild Arms, that's a big deal.
Wild Arms, what's that?
It's
RPG?
Yeah, it's an RPG.
Okay.
It's a turn-based RPG. It's really you would like that game if you haven't played it, dog. Like it's amazing. Tekken 3, which is a
Yep.
very, very, very big deal.
That'd
That
be
was
fun.
the last Tekken they made before they switched over onto the PS2. And a lot of people talk ish about this game. What I'm waiting for, I'm praying to God they announce Bloody Roar or Bloody Roar 2.
Ooh, yes.
Like,
That's
if-
a nice fighting game.
Oh my God, dog.
That's a nice fighting game.
Okay,
Then,
so
Dennis can't wait to go beast mode, yo.
what?
Them combos, man. Yo.
Got Ridge Racer Type 4.
Ooh, Ridge Race is a fun game.
Yes,
That's
that
a
was
classic.
pretty good.
I was thinking about racing games. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
they got that covered.
Jumping Flash, I've never heard of that before. And Resident Evil, the original one.
Nope, not playing that. Nope.
Yeah.
I had bad memories with that game.
Yo, that game was
Yeah, my wife
crazy.
would be like,
yo.
I rebuke that in this house. You bring the Resident Evil.
Castlevania, the original one.
Castlevania,
Oh, wow.
Castlevania is good.
Another game called Loaded. I don't know what that is.
Mm.
The original Crash Bandicoot.
Of course, they got
Yeah.
that
Original
in there.
Spyro. The first Metal Gear Solid.
Yes,
That's a good
yes. I didn't even know about that. Yeah, oh man, just that game alone is
Yeah, look,
worth it.
Aldrich here. That yo, Aldrich could be like,
Yeah.
Metal Gear
Yo,
Solid.
I played that
Yeah.
game so many times growing
Shout out
up.
to
It's
Aldrich.
insane.
Dog, you know how I played through the entire game and I didn't know that you could get the freaking tranquilizer gun in the locker.
Oh yeah,
First
yep.
level. I played
Yep.
through the entire game without it because if you don't get it there,
Yeah,
you
can't
never
really-
see it again.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, dog. Ape Escape. I don't know if y'all remember that one. Ape Escape.
that
was
sounds
lit.
really
No.
familiar.
It was with the little kid that's going around trying to catch the monkeys.
Okay,
Nope.
yeah, I never played it. Sounds familiar though.
I guess I was
Tony
maturing
Hawk
at that point.
Pro
Pro
Skater.
Skater?
Yes.
What? Yo, this
Yeah.
this go. Yo, I
Yes.
gotta pre-order mine today
Yes.
because this is
Oh
gonna be
my
this is gonna be
gosh,
sold
dog.
out like bad.
Yo, and I want to say this. I think not to say anything, I mean, for any video game developers, please bring back something similar to Tony Hawk. I mean, I think they have something.
They did.
What, Skate?
No, there's a new one coming out.
A new Tony Hawk?
Isn't it Pro Skater 5?
No, I think it's under. You have to look it up, but I think it's under Tony Hawk. But
Oh,
Okay,
it's a new
because the
skate
last
game.
one I've heard was the skate one.
yeah,
And that was like,
it was all right.
it was disappointing.
Ooh, yo, this
But
list.
Tony Hawk,
Yo,
This
this
list
is
is
gonna be
official.
dope.
yo, Dominic, have you been over that Field of Dreams Park off of that spot over there?
Hold on.
That was mad random, but no.
No, because they got a skate park.
Yeah, I
over
saw
there.
that. They do have a skate park.
Yo, it blew my mind. Like I didn't know
It's
what
huge.
it had.
You can skate?
No,
They-
I mean I was
I
rollerblades.
rollerbladed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I almost killed myself, but still I did it.
No, Trevor, believe me, if you see what the thing looks
It's
like over there,
huge.
it's official. I mean, it looks like they can hold X Games over there. That's how official
Yeah,
it is.
it's pretty big.
Like they have a super half pipe in there. Like what I mean, it basically you know how people used to take the old swimming pools or people's abandoned swimming pools and skate in it. They basically have something like that but deeper.
I would
Yeah,
die.
You ever tried that?
What
I
skate?
tried that. Like doing it into empty
Pool?
swimming pool.
Never
My
tried that.
rollerblades.
Oh, I didn't try that. How was that, Trevor?
I have scars.
Oh, Trevor.
So did you
Sure.
like know what was happening, or
No.
did you wake up and somebody was like, "Damn, dog"?
Like I was trying to do a trick because back then a bunch of us was actually into BMXing,
Yes.
rollerblading, and whatever. I had blades and tried it, jumped.
Yeah.
Didn't know that you're supposed to, at an angle.
Yeah.
you do that, right?
he just
So-
went up, came back down.
Oh
boom.
yeah, boof. I almost bit my tongue off.
Oh.
Hey,
But also,
Trevor, like survival is real.
that just kind of remind me of back in the neighborhood. You ever like knew one kid that had like the nice shiny new BMX bike?
Yeah.
Like
Oh, of course.
It was, you could do so
I
much
knew a
tricks
couple
on
kids
it.
that kept getting a new bike.
Yeah, but then when
what happened to the old bike?
this what happened?
Well,
They said, "Hey, this bigger dude comes by
Oh,
and
okay.
says, hey, yo, nice bike. Yo, you me ride it a little bit.
Yeah.
Let him ride it.
That's the last time you
Never
saw that
saw
bike.
it
as he's like, yo, I'm gonna try to make it as fast as I can to that stop sign because your bike is like real fast. Oh, okay.
Oh
It's like,
man,
yeah, I'm just go to the stop sign and bring it back. And then
Oh,
he'll do
God.
it the first time. He'll do it the second time.
Yeah.
So he's like, yo,
Dang.
I'm gonna try to beat my record. You ready? Ready? It's like, yeah. Yeah.
Gone.
All right, start counting.
And then go around the
Kick
corner.
Then you see him slowly cut the street. Oh, he missed the stop sign. He keeps going. And then y'all just look at the kid, and then y'all just keep.
sucks.
Shout out to 18
And the next thing you
court
know-
because that happens so much. dog.
Next thing you know, you got that kid
Crying.
crying, dog. Walks up to the next kid talking about, oh, did you know him? I don't think he goes to our school, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, like you'll
yeah.
have that, or you'll have the kid that took the bike come back to school probably like a week later. Well,
Yeah.
he'll come back to school the next day and tell you that he doesn't know what you're talking about.
Right,
If
yeah.
you get out of his face, he's gonna beat you up.
I'm on
Yeah.
yeah.
And
that
then,
bike, right?
a week later, comes back, black spray paint over a fresh new bike.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, that's my bike. Your bike was blue.
This is black.
Wow. I mean, like, okay, so
That's my bike. He's, oh,
we
oh,
can't
it's your
go back
bike,
in
come
time,
take it.
but honestly, what would you do if you were a parent and that happened to you, like your kid?
Yo, you know what I would have
That
done?
happened to my
In
kid.
the 90s
I'd go get
or
what I
now?
paid for
Now.
now.
No, I'm gonna say this, guys. I mean, this is the reason why people, we need legislatives and things like that in place to protect people
True.
in things in this situation.
True, but okay. If you're saying you're saying now.
Yeah,
if
now.
I'm a parent now.
Yeah,
I can't touch him the same way I could do it.
exactly. That's the
the
thing.
No, you can't. But that's what I'm saying, sure. Based on Don was saying then, but now we need to have legislation in place, right? That can help parents protect their kids from things of this nature.
So what does that mean? Like,
I mean,
have the ability to slap a child? Like, hold on.
No, I
That's
know,
too
I mean,
much.
If it's my bike,
no, I'm not saying. I'm not going to use the word slap a child.
Yeah, or physically
Yeah,
harm
or physically harm. But I would like to
threaten
use the
child.
word be able to detain a child and get a parent there without being in a conflict, or being able to detain a child, right? Calling the police so the police can have the parent there, and there not being an issue for doing something. Out of sense, stealing,
That makes sense.
being disrespectful. But we need legislators in place that's going to protect a parent from things of that nature.
well, technically,
jail.
that's the police's job.
I mean, I'm not saying to be judge and executioner there. But that's the reason why I'm saying that it's legislators. Like, I mean, something
That's
has to be
wild.
in place that would tell you that can protect you and say, look, these are the guidelines. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or even let's open up a conversation first. Because there's so many things that's going on in the world right now. Like, I mean, there's that needs open conversations in my point of view.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. Like, I was thinking about y'all, what y'all was saying, and it's like that hasn't happened to me growing up, but there's times where that could have happened, or it's like somebody was playing around. They was like, "Oh, let me ride your bike." Like, all right, and they want to get all wild with it. And I'm like, "Come on, bring it back." Like, that's my bike. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as a child, like in that situation, it's kind of like you don't know what to do because you don't want to get your parents involved. So it's like, try to handle yourself to the best of your ability. You know?
It's like the law of the land back then. It's like if you got your stuff taken, go get your stuff back.
Yourself, exactly.
Don't come back in this house without.
Yeah, so it's like,
Yeah, and then like it's one of those things where if you sat there and you went ahead and you like snitched or whatever to your parents, you lost the respect.
Yeah, you can't get back on a school bus. You can't.
Yeah, because nobody.
You can't play on the basketball court during recess.
You couldn't even come back and get it yourself. You had to go get your mama to come help you, huh?
Yeah.
Like stuff
Yeah,
like that.
that's
Like
true.
kids were vicious back then,
Yeah,
dog.
kids
Like
vicious now, yo.
I'm sure they still are now, man.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit more back then because there was no social media.
Yes, sir.
Because there was a lot more to get away with.
Yes, Trevor. There was no accountability.
Yeah.
You know, you needed somebody to be like, "Oh, I heard him say it." So if somebody's gonna be like, "I didn't heard him say nothing," it's like, "Oh, I didn't say nothing."
Yeah.
And you look at that person like, "Yeah, I see you."
yeah, and
You
then
feel
you
me?
wasn't getting no girls after that, dog.
You know, but guys, again,
Not the easy ones.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you just get some catches from a different neighborhood, dog. But like, yo, look, my reputation in my block ain't good.
Like you gotta understand, like the digital media age that we're in now didn't exist when we were kids. Like it was word of mouth, and word of mouth traveled fast.
It did.
Oh yeah.
So like
It did.
chances are, like, let's say for instance your name is Reggie. You're either the Reggie that lives on this street, the Reggie that lives over in that neighborhood, or the Reggie that goes to that school.
Yeah.
The second that you're identified as which Reggie that you are,
Yes.
it's gonna stick with you. Oh yeah, that's the Reggie that got his bike stolen. He went and got his mom to go and get his bike back.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, you the one that snitched.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, everybody that's around you, ding.
Yo.
That's the Reggie that snitches. Let's not take him anywhere.
Yeah.
Let's not go anywhere with him.
Yeah.
Let's not invite him to play basketball.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's selling out.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I've had situations where I had to go and get my stuff back. Like I just went and got my stuff back, dog. Like,
I mean, with that
we
situation
gotta
is different for
throw hands,
everybody.
we gotta throw hands. Like that was it. But like that's how it was back then.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say this. That was the good thing about back then is like if you throw hands for your stuff and you get beat up, as long as you did stand up, you stand for something. People will understand. Then another dude would our older dude or older person would normally look over and see you fighting for your stuff. Be like, yo, give him his stuff back. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I got kids, so I'm not trying to tell my kids to go fight.
Right.
You know, because times has changed. You know, weapons of mass destruction is finding people's hands at a younger age nowadays. You know, and I use the word weapon of mass destruction because even though, I mean, pistol, a pen, a knife. You know, there's so many.
You can imagine when we
life.
were kids. Yo, what weapon? We ain't got.
We didn't have a weapon. Yeah, it was a fist.
Fist.
Yeah, it was a fist.
And
Like
if you even use a
it
stick,
was
you're
it
weak.
was always fists.
Yeah.
And then if the situation escalated, it was sticks and rocks. It never went anything past
And that was like our gunfire. Like,
Yeah, that was gunshot.
Like,
Like
and if
in
it
there.
was like real crazy, that's when the bike chains came out. But like that was usually when somebody was in an overpowered
Man,
situation.
one time I remember, I wilded out, son. I had the book bag using it as a weapon, yo. I was pissed.
Yeah, what?
The
I
boy
mean,
came through like,
yeah,
bam.
yeah, what? Yeah, what? Down to that.
That
But that's
social
what I'm
studies
saying.
book, yo, boom.
Education
Better get up off of me, yo.
Fourth grade science.
You gonna take this match?
Yeah, but I'm
For
just
real.
saying. The
Pythagorean
good thing
theorem
about
on
that
lock.
is,
Yeah.
if you didn't like Johnny and you hit him with your book bag, Johnny still lived.
Yeah,
You know what
exactly.
I'm saying?
Got a black eye.
Yeah,
but Johnny still lives.
but it's better a black eye than life.
Yeah,
You feel what I'm saying? And then I mean, if anyone of you guys ever seen the movie Ender Games, wonderful movie, very great concept, right? I mean, you will actually stop future bullies from hitting you because it's like, yo, that's John. He likes to fight back. But Joey, we can take Joey's lunch money all day. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Dumb him.
Yo, that's flawed, dog.
Damn, Joe.
that's how it was, man.
You know what time it is?
But I don't know. Like I kind of feel like that kind of built growing up where we always get jumped or fights always happen. Even slap boxing was our national pastime.
Yeah,
Slap boxing was the truth.
It builds character up.
does.
At least in the neighborhood I'm from.
Yeah.
yeah. Because when you're able to, you have an argument and you're able to, what I'm saying, let's scrap and then walk away like, all right, respect. It does build character.
Yeah, it does.
And that's usually what happened a lot of the times too. After
Yeah.
you finish fighting that kid, you and that kid are cool.
Yeah.
Like that's what happened with pretty much almost.
You gain some respect.
like,
So,
yeah,
all
all
right,
my
so,
fights.
so our guys,
Yeah.
based on you guys saying that, do you think we should have some legislation in place that can help make some of these things happen?
See, but what would you put in place? Like that was something that we did on our own.
Yeah, that's
Like it was more about a respect thing than anything else. Like if
Yeah.
you fought that kid, like you and that kid got mad at each other, you fought that kid.
Yeah.
One of you is gonna lose. The one that lost can't talk smack no more.
Yeah, but
you already
we can
lost.
make it an
Yeah.
organized event.
If anybody
'Cause then you'll have
says
people running
anything,
up on people
the
for
girls
no-
are like,
for no
"Yo,
reason."
Eric,
That's
shut
true.
up! You just got whooped up last week, so
Yeah, like it's like yo,
everybody got your back on that." So it's like, all right,
yo,
stop
you
talking.
You talking again?
still talking.
He just beat you up last Thursday.
Exactly. So it's over.
Yo, for real. It's like, and that's when other people are stepping in, like, yo, he's gonna beat you up again. Like, you need to chill. Like that, they already seen it.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then if you're one of those people that want to run back and be like, oh, I bet you won't happen twice. Well, he wants a rematch. Are you gonna rematch him? I already beat him. Well, he's technically right. He already beat you. So like, what do you want to do?
And then you always got those situations where one kid wants to fight, the other kid doesn't. That's
Yeah.
when an adult steps in or somebody else steps in, like, yo, chill.
Yeah,
like,
chill.
you don't
That's-
want to
yeah.
fight, let it go. Like,
Yeah.
And
you
then
know?
you let it go, and it's like, yo, Craig soft. I was trying to fight. Craig soft. Like it was ruthless.
There was those,
it was
but-
ruthless, but there was a code of honor.
Yeah, there was like
it's like,
the older,
if you ain't gonna
kind of
fight, but
bigger
you gonna
ones.
talk, you get that. You're gonna get that free shot.
Yeah, you
Exactly.
can
Like,
get
you're
a
gonna
shot.
get that work.
But I'm gonna say this. Look,
Go ahead.
I mean, Trevor, go on, because
I was gonna say you also had the bigger ones. At least I had one situation where I didn't
Oh,
want
the
to
ones
fight.
with the gross words.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
Gross
I didn't want to
first.
fight. Right, one dude keeps on testing me,
Yeah.
right. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna show you.
Give him that
Yeah.
math book.
I just tapped my homeboy that I know he fights. He don't care.
He was
said,
like,
Yo, we
yo.
all had one,
Of
dog.
course.
I just-
Wild.
I went to him. I said, "Yo, so and so said something about your mom."
Oh, Trev, you were one of
Man,
them.
oh, that's messed up. You didn't keep it
He
real,
got
man.
up, walked over.
Dang.
You said, no, listen. Before you add the sound effect, it said, "Yo." All he said was, "Yo, you said." That's all he said.
You said it.
Yeah, you don't even say, "Yo, you didn't say something." No, he said, "Yo, you said."
Boom.
Because he was so heated. Yeah, he can't even finish a
couldn't
sentence
finish it.
and just
Oh,
knock.
Yo,
man.
that was
Hey,
probably
Trev.
He remembers now.
that was
All the
Don't cross.
way
that was the easiest line to trigger anybody.
Yeah, you said
Like,
something about my mama.
You said something
Mama?
about my mom. Like it's like, oh yeah, so and so said that. Oh, he had your mom last night. Oh, word.
Word?
Come on,
No
man.
questions.
Say
That
no
was
more.
It was no questions, dog. It's like, oh, you gonna let him talk about your mom like that? You need to talk about my mom like that. Like, no questions. Just that's it. And after the whole fight kicks off or whatever, you
I
find
said
out
your
he
mom
didn't
was
even
pretty.
say nothing. You like, oh, what?
You better not say nothing about my
You should
mama.
have said you didn't say nothing then.
That was too late, yo.
No, it's like we would
Stop crying,
our
dog.
moms.
Yeah.
Point blank.
Oh,
Period.
Yeah.
Like even if you and your mom was beefing,
Yes.
somebody said anything about mom,
yeah.
like,
Chill out,
on
homie.
sight, bro.
Yo, especially if somebody I don't like.
Yes.
Yo, I remember there was
Give me a reason.
there was this one kid, like, I was back in middle school, like, he had ran up on me or whatever, and me and this kid did not like each other. Like, I remember a lot of my altercations. Me and this kid did not like each other at all, but we always had that common ground, kind of like how, whatchamacallit, Tien was like in Vegeta and the Team 4-Star stuff, where they're always trying each other.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
never
yeah.
do anything. So, like, we were sitting there one day, and I'm going over my boy's house, and he was behind me, he was like, yo, I heard you was talking mess about me. Well, in choice words. I was like, that's
choice words.
nothing new. I do it to your face. Like, what are you talking about?
It's the same thing I said
which
last
time?
week.
And he's like, oh, but yeah, so and so said. I'm like, you already know by now. If I wanted to tell you something, I'd tell it to you to your face.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to scrap, we can scrap right now. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be talking again, which I'm pretty sure you'll be talking again, and we can just deal with it that way. But if you want to fight, you already know I'm ready. I've been dying to get to you. And then his boy was like, yo, that boy got heart, dog. And he do got a point. Like, he does say it to your face every day. So he's like, oh, well, I was just making sure. I was like, dog.
I was making sure you were talking about me.
It was a whole bravado thing, because like when you had somebody that told you somebody was saying something, and that's what caused a lot of altercations.
Yeah, somebody else.
Yeah, somebody else saying,
Helpful
if you
thing.
didn't do anything about it, you were instantly labeled.
Yeah.
Like, and that was the thing that we tried to avoid as kids. We tried to avoid being labeled as something that we weren't, because it was like our whole morality was based off of the way that other children perceived us.
Yeah.
Especially being called gay.
Yes.
And you're not.
Dog.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yo.
In the hood.
You don't like girls,
say
cunt?
something that, yo, fam, that dude gay.
Yo, he like boys.
That's it.
Somebody's
Yo,
gonna get
you
dropped
better-
that
you
day.
better-
Yeah.
Yo, for real, dog. And that whole thing went, oh yeah, so and so said he liked what? Like that was it, dog. Like the on-site approach, it's usually was very bad, but I don't know. There was still a code of ethics to it, as bad as it was.
It definitely was a code.
I mean,
and I think it's, it's just that thing going through puberty in that age, that middle school age.
Oh yeah.
I think there's always this fights. And then you got high school. I think the people that don't grow out of it, people that,
There's,
that
like,
get in
there's
trouble.
only a few of them.
But yeah, it's mainly that middle school age. It's difficult, man.
It's that burst of
So,
testosterone.
yeah.
Because
It's
like
crazy.
half of them was trying to impress the girls around.
Yeah.
Them easy ones. And the other half was like, yo, I'm trying to be a man. I'm trying to just respect, have respect around here. We don't know what manhood was.
Exactly.
We just knew if I win this fight,
Don't disrespect me.
yeah.
If I win this fight.
That's how slapboxing was
Yeah.
back then too.
That's
and
true.
It was like, yo, all right, quick game. And I know, Dennis, you're from Broward, so you know how when the fights start, they pull up the shorts just up a little bit,
Usually no shirt.
square up,
Yep.
then
That's it.
dodging, ducking, moving,
And you know how they did the Dora Milaje and the other people from the mountain when T'Challa was fighting M'Baku?
M'Baku.
And they had the circle.
It's kind of like that.
Getting
What?
closer.
Oh,
That's how
yes.
it was.
Yeah.
If you started fighting, don't walk away. Because the saying you try to leave out of that circle, like, nah, bro, it ain't, bro. Yo, get your ass back in there. For real, like,
You're still
yo, where you
scrapping.
going, dog? Yo, get up. What? And they'll just push you back in there.
You know what's funny about that fact? You're getting beat down. You try to escape.
Nah, yo.
No,
Y'all,
you got beat down.
I hear them saying, high five. High five. Like, they will literally just throw you back in there.
fight.
But you better keep fighting.
Nah,
Oh,
man.
man.
Y'all might not know, man, but the worst thing is the fight up north in the cold, bro.
Oh,
Cause you so amped up,
yeah.
and it's like you don't feel the hits. But when you get home, yo, you feel it. You're like, oh man, I just got hit by a train. Oh damn.
like, your
I remember one
adrenaline's
time, yo.
pumping, and then your body's
Yeah,
cold.
the
You're
adrenaline's
like,
pumping so bad, yo. I didn't even feel like my fists and nuts. So I got home, something my fist was just hurting.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
what did I do to myself?
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, what happened?
Dog, and when you see somebody that you know was talking recklessly about somebody else, and then that person pulls up on him, and you didn't like that kid to begin with, and you're like, yo, this about to be a show.
Oh,
And like, there was so many people that like I seen get beat up because their mouths ran so much, but when you're watching it happen, you didn't get that sense of satisfaction you thought you were gonna get. Like, you actually felt bad for him. Because I remember there was this one kid, like, I wanted to fight him so bad. Because like, he was one of those kids that ended up getting
You
the
had a
growth
lot of built up testosterone.
because
when
like
you grow up.
he had reckless speech, but he never wanted to fight. So
I don't know, man.
because like he was one of those kids that had the growth spurt. So like he was like 11 or whatever, and then most of us was running around like the 5'3", 5'4" range. So like
Yeah.
it was like, okay, since he was taller, he thought he was better. Till that one kid pulled up that had a brother that could drive. Like,
Dang.
yeah. And he was sitting there, and he was from a whole nother school. I think the kid went to Plant or whatever.
You okay? Good luck.
So like he was sitting there, and he was just like, "Oh, yo," because I think he was dating that kid's sister, and the kid didn't like him and didn't want him to be with his sister or whatever. Old boy was Spanish. The one I didn't like was Spanish, and then the other kid was black.
Sunrise.
Yeah.
Okay, so makes sense.
So then next thing you know, like he was talking. He's like, "Oh, I don't give a damn about her brother. If he pulls up, I'm gonna beat him up." And blah. I'm like, you won't even fight me. So how are you gonna beat up the brother? So like next thing you know, like you see a car pull up, and when you don't drive. This is a serious thing.
Yeah.
Where did the car come from?
Your escape route just got
car pulls up because I mean there was no text messages back then. Word travels fast. So the kid steps out of the car on the passenger side, and then his boy or his brother or whatever stepped out from the driver's side, and he was like, "Yo, handle your business." So he runs up. He's like, "Oh, so you gonna beat me down, right? You gonna beat me down, right?" And homeboy was like, "Yo."
He was ready.
he was like, "Yo, I'm not trying to fight right now." He's like, "No,
Not right now.
He's like, "Take off the backpack." Like that's the code of ethics, bro. Like if you got caught lacking,
yeah, that's
pull up
why you
on
can't
you.
act
Drop the books, drop the backpack.
Let's go.
Put it to the grass.
Yo, then that circle, my fault. That circle came around or whatever. And you're sitting here and you're looking at him. You're like, all right, he's just tall, but he's lanky. He looks like he benches weights, but he's a little bit shorter. So then you're looking at the one kid that's tall that you don't like, and you're looking at this kid, and years of watching cartoons will let you know that somebody's completely at a disadvantage in this situation. So the fight starts, and you're sitting here, and you're like, yo, he's about to get mashed. And sure enough, within seconds, it was like...
You saw where things were going.
It went from a fight to an execution. Like to the point where, like, I didn't like him, but I jumped in to stop the fight. I literally jumped in to stop the fight. I was like, yo, he's had enough.
Dance was like, T'Challa, no! Show him who you are!
Is this your king?
Is this
Dog, like, yo, it was me and my homeboy and all the other kids that were there because we knew he went to another school. So it changed from a fight situation to he goes to our school and he's getting stomped out.
Yeah, you gotta
so,
stop it.
Even though if he does talk like that, he goes to our school.
Yeah,
we gotta help him out. So then we jump in and we're like, yo, chill. Like he's done. Like you already beat him. Just leave him. He's like, no. It's like, yo, chill. Like there's a lot more of us here than there is of y'all. So like just calm down. You already beat him. Just let him go. Like just end it. Just let him go. We don't know you. You obviously know him. He was talking. He's there. You're here. Like you won. We all see you won. Dog. Just let it go. You feel me? It's like, oh, I better not hear you talking again. Then he gets in the car. They drive off or whatever, and he's just sitting there on the ground. And you just hand him his backpack, like,
go home.
just give him his backpack, and we all start walking home. And you know that you got that brief silence or whatever.
Oh yeah.
All walking together. His whole face is red. And he's sitting there. He's crying a little bit. Just turn around, I'm like, damn, beat the dog mess out of you, dog. Like, it's like, man, shut up, man. It's like, you can't talk to me like that. You just got whooped. Yo, after that, you definitely can't talk to me like that.
You like I said, T'Challa.
You gonna catch another one today. Like, you
need a special herb, T'Challa.
You know what I'm saying? We can take you back to the garden.
Like, yo, for real.
The power of the Black Panther.
For real.
Like, if that's how you fight, you're going to catch another one today. You need to chill. You already had it.
Not 2 in 1 day.
Dang, nah, you never, ever want 2 in 1 day, man.
Especially if your body got trying to rejuvenate after the last one you just took.
That's the nail in the coffin right there.
Don't do that to yourself,
like,
bro.
the thing is like, it's that code of ethics. Like, it went from us being entertained by the situation to us actually supporting the person that actually wanted all the smoke, and then the chimney lit. You feel me?
Yeah. Like, hey.
Tuck your chain mentality.
Yo, for real, dog. Like, it
Once
was.
that chain get tucked in. No, you said what?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Nah, it's bad. We like, hold my chain.
Yo, the hold my chain is different.
Hold my
Dog,
chain.
about to
Hold
go
my
off.
chain.
I ain't gonna lie,
Yo,
dog. My
the
last
shirt-
my
yo,
official fight was a hold my chain fight.
Yeah.
Shoot, the
Believe me.
shoes came off and you was in the socks. The shirt came
Oh
off
my
because it
gosh.
was your school shirt. You
Yeah.
can't mess that up.
Yeah.
Then, of course,
Took my watch
basketball
off.
shorts underneath everything.
Yeah.
So the pants came off. Basketball shorts are there. You got the high socks rolling. All that stuff. Chain. All that type of jewelry
Jewelry
come
off.
off. Book pack drop. Yo, hold my stuff. You always had like 4 or 5 homeboys with you. So everybody had
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
different.
you for real. You
And
always
you're
had a couple
sitting there-
people who's willing to hold everything.
Straight
Yeah,
socks,
yeah.
bro.
It's like I was
looking
going down
you
the
just came
line,
out
just
the
taking
crib.
stuff off. That's like here.
So you, how much stuff you got, dog?
I'm ready now.
Yo, man, got 4 shirts.
Oh my gosh.
You know, they're always battle ready. As you say, they have basketball shorts underneath their clothes. They're either going to go fight, go play ball, or go smash.
Yeah.
Like, that's
That's
the
it.
smash outfit.
That's it.
Yes.
Yo, for real.
But you see that-
the
that-
wife beater with the basketball shorts, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we were always ready back then, you know. It was
ready
like
for
that,
something.
for
Feelings.
something.
Yeah.
You want to go play? It's not even just basketball, Trevor. It's basketball or football
Yeah.
or soccer.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
So for whatever after sport event,
Yeah.
you're technically ready for at one point. That's why when we were like, "Yo, you take my shirt off," because after I finish beating you down, we may be going out to go eat. So I need to be
Yeah,
ready.
yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So just make sure
Yeah, and
don't crush my shirt up when I
That's
take it
the
off.
thing.
One
Like
thing.
the only thing you had to worry about was just throwing hands.
Yeah.
Like, granted, every now and then, you'd have that kid to pick up the stick or the rock, but usually after that happened, that kid would immediately get jumped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like, yo, like,
You're supposed
What
to
are
be
you
throwing
doing?
hands. If you
Supposed-
can't
exactly, you're
knock a
supposed to be
couple people
throwing
out with that
hands.
stick though.
You know what was worse was when the girls fight. And they're ruthless.
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah,
for
it's-
real,
yeah,
like
it's
that.
a
One girl,
massacre.
I remember when she got in a fight back in 90, let's say 9. Yeah, I'm old. Like back in 99.
Go back
middle
for the
school.
99 and 2000s. yeah.
Yo, real talk. The girl that she fought had nails.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
scarred
gosh.
up her face.
Yeah.
Right? So I, of course, left my past hood and went to suburbs, and which I'm not gonna say on radio, but moved out there went to Grab Bag. This is in 05. I saw the same girl. How I recognized her, the scars are still there.
Yeah.
Oh my
Ooh.
gosh.
I was like,
Yeah,
That's
that
wild.
that was a thing for girls because
They had more testosterone than the dudes, dog.
estrogen.
that's
But,
yeah.
but I'm just saying, it was something about it.
If they had more testosterone, it would be
Yo,
dude.
for real, like, because when they got gassed up, it's like the thing is when dudes got gassed up, it was usually like, okay, defend your honor, defend your pride type of thing. When females got gassed up, it was a full tank, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and females were quick to dog each other.
Man, dude, I remember this one
like-
time I pissed this girl off. Like
Man can.
something happened, she got mad. And I was like just fed up with her. I was like, man, leave me alone. Beep. Dude, she was ready to fight me. I was like,
On site.
it's like veins came up in her neck. I was like, what? Yo, who's
I mean,
about to
are you
transform
calling
her?
her?
What you said?
Yo, I was like, yo, I'm good. We're not fighting.
Yo,
But
like
yeah.
there was always these two type of girls. The girls that do the windmill,
Yeah.
which is like slapping.
Oh,
like,
That's bad.
yeah.
That Iron Giant swing,
Yeah,
dog,
yeah.
like,
Just keep on swinging, or the ones that actually learn how to fight from their older brothers,
Yes.
and so they're just gonna box you down.
But you forgot to mention
dog.
another one.
one?
The ones that grab your hair.
Oh,
Yeah.
Come with the other hand.
those were the
Sharkeisha.
Those are the worst.
Spartacus blood and chains, dog.
Yo.
Like,
Sharkeisha,
yo, the hair grabbers, yo, forever one, dog. Like, and then you had the pond skippers, the ones that would grab the hair and just skip her across. Like, across the side. Like, you're like, females were ruthless, bro. Like, dudes was just, they would pretty much just throw hands. You fell down. Chances are they're either gonna let you get up or they're gonna finish
you
it.
get a busted lip.
The
maybe.
female
Yeah.
dog, like, you fall on the ground, she climbs on top of you, or she's grabbing you and she's
And
dragging.
the thing is, I know there's a
dog,
couple
like,
females back in my school. It was like they had that one friend
Yeah.
that was about that action.
Yeah. About
Yeah.
that
Let's
life.
be like, so and so, get her.
Yo, I'm
Basically,
gonna shout my cousin out.
That's all you
I'm gonna
see.
shout my
For
cousin
real.
Sandy out. My cousin was that she was that female where if any females talk smack about any of the female cousin, and you go,
You gotta go through her.
yo,
On
no,
site.
and yo, then it's on site. Yo, she be in the bus. She'll hop through the window of the bus, dog. You know how the bus is driving off,
Yeah.
and she pull up and you're like, oh, you got away. You talking smack to her through the window,
Yeah.
Yo, she'll run, jump on top of the not on top of the bus, jump, grab the window, climb through the window, give you
I
a
seen
beat.
that happen,
then it's,
dog.
yo, give you a beat down and come out. I was like, yeah.
Out like a
Yeah.
light.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a light.
Yo, and I'm like, yo,
Yo,
she
for
didn't
real.
play. Like now, she's a way more humbler person. She's very, very spiritual now.
She's a nurse now.
Yeah. No, when I say she's very
real.
spiritual now,
Yeah.
like that person that I'm talking about no longer exists. But
Wow, that's awesome.
That's good.
no, it is awesome. But to remember her from those days, and she had a little sister that was always, yo, I'm the cute girl. So you know when girls start proclaiming they're the cute girl,
Yeah,
there's always haters.
Oh, there's haters.
of course.
Yo,
Oh,
Trev,
the hierarchy, dog.
dog, they didn't go to the same school, and girls just would not talk smack about her sister for the fact that she pulled up. Like the first 4 girls that talked smack about her sister, when I mean she pulled up, Dennis, pulled up. I'm not talking about because she don't got no car, so she ain't driving up. You feel what I'm saying?
Pull up still.
That's-
Yo,
that's a
I want you.
co-op.
I want you to understand. You see, whenever you see the bus, you'll stop because there's a bus stop at majority of the schools in Jamaica. When you see the bus stop and you see that blue uniform, when your uniform is purple,
Like, yo,
you're like,
that's-
dog,
that's not right.
Yo, you see that blue uniform? Yo, Sandy's here. yo, let's get ready for it, dog. Get ready for it. Yo, you be out there. She be out there early. You be like, dog, yo, we got bets going on. So yeah. Who gonna get the beat down? Yo, that's my cousin. Yeah, that's how we doing this. So
I feel horrible because, or half horrible, half stupid, because us guys sat around and watched these girls fight.
yeah, we did.
And
Yeah,
we
for
didn't
sure.
split them up. We
Nah,
were like,
bro.
oh, hey,
No, I mean,
let them fight.
well, I can't say not. We didn't split them up in the sense that if we saw the fight getting, as Dennis would say, how females are very aggressive and pulling hair. Like if they start going at it and we saw the hair pulling was becoming too common.
Yeah, you
where
gotta break it up.
Yeah, we break it up and we're like, yo, if you're gonna scrap even, because I'm not promoting people fighting, but if you both have a frustration and you both are gonna go at it, I think it should be a fair one. You feel what I'm saying? If there's no way for you to prevent it from happening, you feel what I'm saying? Like when I say prevent, you've gone to the pastor. You feel what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
no,
for real talk.
no. Then it's something serious. Like yo, for us in school in Jamaica, a lot of the times you'll talk to a teacher or the principal. The principal will call the parents, and the parents will talk. And I'm gonna keep it real. At that point, that's like dry snitching. You feel me? And it only used to cause more issues. So it's like
It did.
So there's no common way of fixing it. Like they're gonna fight, and if the parents got involved, it only makes the fight worse.
Yeah, because like it was one of those situations, like I said before, like when it happens, just deal with it.
Yes.
Like
Here's-
you either win or you lose. That's
Yeah.
it.
Here's my secret, okay? I'm gonna let it out now. When I would get into fights in middle school, if whoever hit the person first is the one that's getting suspended.
Yes.
So back in my school, if you're defending yourself,
Yeah, just
you're
hit me.
okay.
Yeah.
But if you're the one instigating it, you're getting suspended.
Right.
So I just made sure I wasn't the one to hit first. You know what I'm saying? Like this one time, these kids was messing around with kids on the playground and stuff. Came up to me, pushed me on the ground. Had my brand new Tommy Hilfiger jeans, bro.
Tommy
You
back
know
then,
that's serious back
Yo, I
then.
remember my Tommy jumpsuit.
Got
now,
my
yo.
jeans green, bro. Like
Oh,
had me on the grass. I got up. I looked at my jeans. I just went off. Yo.
Behold my rage.
Yeah. Now
So I
you
told the
feel
principal, like,
pain.
hey, he pushed me. You know what I'm saying? He pushed me on the ground. Messed. You see my jeans. You see everything's all messed up. And they're like, all right, well, he's getting suspended. Go back to class.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Just hit me.
I don't know how it is now, but that's how it was back in the day, man. It's like, yo, you just defending yourself.
like
Pretty much.
See, you have the oldest kid here.
Yes.
Does the parents get information about what the criteria of when their kids get into fights?
No, I mean, I can't say in the sense that I have not dealt with that in that way. I know my daughter is going through some similar stuff right now with she and another child, which we've reached out to the teacher and the principal, and according to them, they've spoken to the parents. So hopefully That's we can get it fixed that way.
Okay.
But I mean, on a criteria, there's no, it's more like a he says she says thing, because yes, it's who hit who 1st, and I'm not gonna tell my child, and I'm not enforcing anybody to tell their child to fight. But for me, if you hit my child should hit you. Yeah, should have hit you back. You feel what I'm saying? Right. And there's process I ask my kids to go through, my oldest to go through. Like if they hit you once, try to go to the teacher first, right? Get it reported. And that's just making sure that we have something on file and record that you were hurt and this is what you do. You feel what I'm saying? If the child hits you again, you have all right from daddy to do everything I taught you how to do.
You taught her some
everything I taught you.
No, and I'm just saying, and I'm not, because I am big on self defense,
right?
And I'm not teaching my kids anything to go out and fight. It's a self defense. Like, look, if somebody try to hit you, you can grab their arm. Don't hit me. If you're about to punch me, I'm gonna grab your wrist. Don't hit me.
Yeah, you don't have to strike.
Yeah, you don't have to strike him. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you hit me and I tell the teacher, and then in the same situation come back again, then the next time you hit me and I grab your arm, it's not going to be a grab. It's going to be a grab with a knee to the gut or a sure you can. You see what I'm saying? It's and
I can imagine Corey doing that.
You just grab the end and just drop him.
And it goes back to
uppercut, or you taught her how to come from the ground.
Come from the ground.
That's what I'm talking about.
That goes back to the importance of martial arts. You know what I'm saying? Teaching your kids karate, because all that stuff that they teach you there. Because I took karate for a little bit. And there's not necessarily the strikes that they do teach you techniques on how to punch, strike and stuff, but they teach you a lot of evasive techniques to be able to grab and subdue the person, get them down in a place where you could like yo,
stop.
You really want to do this? Like, yo,
Cobra Kai.
Like, I'm giving you a chance right now. You're gonna get back up, and it's like it's gonna be over, right? You know what I'm saying? You can talk like, yo, it's done. Like, if you want to get back up and fight, then you're taking that risk.
Speaking of that, did y'all ever see that video with the little girl who was in the elevator and the dude tried to abduct her?
Yes.
Ooh, dog. That was one of my favorites right there. Because, you haven't seen it?
No, but
dog,
you're talking about abduction, Dennis. You brought me to this guy. I don't know if you guys heard about the Walmart guy too.
So, old girl, she was in the elevator and she's standing there. She got her backpack on and stuff like that, chilling. So then, dude walks into the elevator, got his hat on, jacket, typical suspect look. So she's sitting there, she looks at him, and she, looks back, looks at him, looks back, or whatever, and presses the button. Elevator's going up. Door opens. She goes to step out, and he grabs her backpack. Dog, she grabbed his arm, twisted it, pulled him down to the ground. She's like 6, and this is like a full 30-something-year-old dude. She pulls him to the ground. Chocolate. She starts whipping his ass. Then he gets out and he tries to run. She drags him back into the elevator and keeps beating on. He tried to get away 2 or 3 times, and she kept dragging him back like dog, like full on martial arts beat down, bro. In that moment he regretted it. What?
I mean, so Dennis, you talk about him getting beat down. Unfortunately, he got the justice needed. I don't know if you guys heard about the old guy in Florida in Walmart. I'm not trying to highlight. I don't know what area in Florida it happened, but it was in Florida.
Not in our area.
Not in our area. For real. So what the guy did, basically, this lady was sitting there with her daughter, and he started offering her money from her daughter. He was like, I'll pay you 100 stacks for your daughter. And she's like, no, get away from me. He's like, well, I pay 200 stacks. And he started going up. You feel me? So she just got mad and comfortable and called Walmart personnels. And then when they get there, he's like, oh, I didn't say this. But I'm like, yo, I'm happy because if I would have been in her situation, the fact that he offered me, I would have just Spartan kick his straight, straight, dog.
Damn. Oh, what's the problem? Oh, this is what he's doing.
Yo, this is Walker. and just drop the foot, dog.
That's crazy.
But
there's so many things going on in this world, man. Y'all been keeping up with this. I want to say Kaepernick. It's not Kaepernick, but Kavanaugh. The guy is supposed to be. He was selected as the next Supreme Court justice.
Is he in now?
Well, the final vote is today. They say that he probably is going to get voted in.
Most likely.
See, it's still going on now with the Senate. But the crazy thing about that, man, it's just all this stuff came out about, the rape accusation.
Yeah.
And the lady gave her testimony in front of Congress, and it was pretty. I mean, she kept it pretty G.
Yeah.
As far as what happened, and he gave his testimony. He seemed very erratic. He got very upset. He definitely, to me, he definitely sounds like he has a drinking problem.
Yeah.
Like, even to this today.
Right.
Because he's like, I love beer, and this about beer and beer and beer. It's yo, really?
And how he disrespected that one lady too. When he
he was saying like, oh, don't you have a drinking problem? Like, don't you drink? Yeah, that's wild.
You can't just answer your question.
No, what I'm gonna say this, guys. I've always said it's not what you say, but how you say things.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and in his defense, during the time when it happened, he could have highlighted that situation without being disrespectful and said, "Yes, guys." During most teenagers or young adolescent who's in college, they do find themselves with a small alcoholic issue, where you feel like you're out there, you're partying, especially you live on campus, right? So there's ways to highlight your mishaps without being disrespectful. So he could have instead of saying what he said to her to try to put her situation on blast because you're on blast, he could have turned it around. But he was just trying to be disrespectful. And I'm gonna say this, as somebody who's supposed to be in that position, if you don't know how to talk to people, how are you going to represent the people?
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. And it's like, and it was like on top of him just disrespecting her, like, it's like he took no responsibility for even drinking. Like, he was like, oh, I'm not a drinker. They were like, what's your opinion on what is too much to drink?
Yeah.
He was like, I don't know. Check whatever, the standard is.
What?
He wouldn't say like, oh, well, 2 drinks or 3 drinks.
So you're trying to tell me,
what's the standard? I agree with that.
As Supreme Court Justice, right?
Yeah.
You don't know the law?
I guess not.
Guess not.
No, I'm just saying.
He's testing the Democrats to see if they know the law.
Why would you? But Trevor, knowledge is power. If you know the knowledge, you're supposed to share. You can't test my knowledge if you have the knowledge. Yeah. I mean, you're supposed to enlighten me to be like, well, it just goes back to what I just said.
Right.
You feel me? So you're not coming in to impose the law. You're coming in here to test it. Mm-hmm. That's not what a Supreme Court justice is supposed to be. I'm not saying on behalf of what his process is, but based on what was just said, that's something different. You don't test it. So you basically look at me and say, hey guys, if you're testing the law, you're saying find the loophole in the law. That's just what I got from that.
Yeah, pretty much.
You feel what I'm saying? I'm not telling you I'm upholding, like, just to uphold the law, the legal limits of the debate. And I don't know the legal limits because I'm not a Supreme Court justice, but I'm just saying, well, at that point I've been like, well, the legal limits have been having like 4 or 5 cups, and based on the amount that I consume, I only consume about 3 cups. So at that point, I wasn't considered drunk or an alcoholic. All I was doing is having a good time, and I'm not even in his position, and I've just found a way how to answer that question.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean the testimony he gave was just I cringed, man, at certain points, man. It was bad.
Choking up, talking about the calendar,
he's talking about I was working out with so and so and this person, and like, come on, man. Just
my name has been dragged through the dirt.
He's talking about how this is an attack on him from the Democrats. Like, come on, man. It's not about that. It's like at the end of in my view, in my opinion, the Supreme Court justice is like one of the top positions within our government, because there's no limitation on that. Like, that's your position, that's your job for the rest of your life. That's one of the only positions you could do that in our government. And those people, they vote on very, very, very important topics, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That changed the course of our country. So these people are supposed to be righteous. These people are, not to say they're supposed to be perfect and holy, but they are supposed to be righteous in as far as how they judge things. And like, this dude is not it. He's not it, man.
And Trevor, and that was what I was going to say that, but I was waiting for Donovan to conclude. Yeah. But in the sense that it's like, when you're going in there, if you're biased to a side, right? How you can be for the people?
You can't.
It makes no sense.
Because you gotta be for all people.
Yes,
of course. And my opinion, the most important thing is this woman felt like she was sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
Or if you want to use the word rape all those years ago, and it traumatized them. Doesn't matter how long it took for us to finally hear the news, but are we not having no concern for her?
Yeah.
Well, I never say this, Trev.
And how much time?
And
has that happened in
her
your
story
life?
goes through like it's pretty solid.
But I want to say this, guys. Have any one of you guys ever had something taken from you and you can't get it back?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what rape would feel like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have something taken away from you that you've never given to somebody and you can't get it back.
Yeah.
That's what that is. That's something that you'll never forget. Like, if my wife would I'm eating a candy and she take my candy away from me, even though I'm not mad at her, I will never forget she taking the candy away from me. See, remember when I was eating that green lollipop on Sunday? Now, what I'm using as an example, then, is when someone takes something away from you that you're not giving. And then you're drinking your soda, your energy drink right now, right?
Yeah.
Imagine me just taking your whole energy drink and just start drinking it without asking you no question. Put the empty can back down and be like, here, by force.
Yeah.
And I want you to understand the can is empty, so there's no drink in it. You can't get that back. I mean, fortunate for you, it's a drink that you can buy back.
Yeah.
But with something like rape, sexual assault, you can't take it back. You can't go back in line and be like, can I speak with the manager, please? I need a refund. This did not fit me pretty good, or this drink tastes like it's spoiled, or when I opened this can, it was half empty. You can't do that. There's no turning back.
Yeah.
It's what's even sadder is we legit, like, I think all of us have more than 5 homegirls that has gone through sexual assault.
Yes.
Yep.
And
Definitely.
what can we even do to stop that? Or because they all hide it in too. They're a little bit tougher now, but
Yeah.
I mean the trust of men is gone.
Yep.
It's just sad now.
See,
And-
I've like for me, I've bought my homegirls more than my own fair share of pepper spray or something. At least you have like me being comfortable knowing that you at least have that instead of nothing is fine. And I've probably bought over 10 canisters and just divvied them out. You feel me? Because I feel comfortable knowing that you have that, especially when you have people that run up on them like that all the time.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to Diamond the other day, and she was telling me that basically some dude ran up on her while she was walking out of her job or whatever. He was like, "Oh yeah, you're so beautiful" and stuff like that, and I just wanted to know if I could get your number and this, that, and the third. And she was like, "Oh no, thank you." Like she was trying to figure out where the hell he came from, and
Yeah.
basically like she was kind of creeped out because she like parks kind of far away from her job and stuff like that. I was like, yo, you can't be parking that far away from your job.
Yeah, stay in lit
You have to
areas.
be within a line of sight. And like home dude was in the same parking lot as her and he was watching her. You feel me? And then she said she walked into work the next day and she explained what happened to her coworkers. And one of the girls was like, yeah, I had some dude run up on me like that. He looks like this, and the third, right? It's like, yeah. And basically the dude was following her around the store, ran up on her with the same conversation.
Wow.
And she asked her, she was like, yeah, when he was there, did he have like this car? And there was also this black van that was there too.
Yeah.
In the parking lot. She was like, yeah. So they were thinking that it was like somebody that was trying to abduct women. You feel me? So like when it comes to situations like that, you gotta, granted, you can't be prepared for anything.
Yo, that thing
or
is real,
everything,
yo.
But you gotta at least have something.
Yeah, even when you know what I'm saying, even when you think you're in a comfortable position at a party or something, like do not take any drinks from anybody.
Yep.
Nobody, man. Because I've heard crazy stories. The people that didn't get raped, but they blacked out and they knew, like, hey, it was that drink. You know what I'm saying? That's scary thing just to hear the story, bro. It's scary.
Yeah.
So like, yo,
But
there's so many sick people out here, man.
Yeah, but it's for the girls, they go through it even more because if for them it's like, yo, the guy put something in their drink, and it's not something that normally kicks in instantly. It drags your body down. So next thing you find out that you're leaving the club or a party with someone that you see that you see, oh, she's just a little bit tipsy. I'm just gonna get her home.
Like, who are you?
By the time she gets to the car, she's halfway passed out. She get to whatever house, apartment, or alleyway somebody decided to use. The next thing you know, you're waking up on the floor with your clothes ripped off.
Yeah.
And the sad part is, it goes to either he say or she say.
Mhm.
And a lot of America believes the guy more than the girl.
Well,
Well,
Well, here's
in
the thing.
some
Here's the
sense.
thing with, you know what I'm saying, if something like that happens, you go to the hospital, you get a rape kit,
Right.
Mhm.
and they can get DNA and all that stuff. Yes, it's very invasive, but they can't get that evidence. And if you call somebody out and say, "Yo, this person did that," they got to get the evidence too and match it up. Like, yo,
But you see how today's society is more like, oh, well, she shouldn't have been wearing that.
Mhm.
She shouldn't have went there. She shouldn't have drank that. She shouldn't have. You can't, like, women can't live their life
The way they want.
they want because it's nasty men out there that will take advantage of you.
It's not even
See,
taking advantage. It's
granted-
people don't have no self control.
Granted, you'll have the women that'll come out and they'll dress provocatively and they'll do provocative things and stuff like that. You still don't have permission to touch them.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
And I
like-
want to say this for ladies. Look, ladies, when you dress up like that, please expect that there's going to be some type of a special attention that will come your way.
I think, like, with looking, yeah.
Yeah, that's
no, it's
understandable.
gonna come. But I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
but I want to address it that way, Trevor. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you are gonna get special attention. So when you dress like that and you get that special attention, please make sure that you're prepared, because there are people out there who have no self control. Who's gonna see you like that and feel like because they see you like that, that's how they can approach you. So please be ready for stuff like that. So if you're gonna dress like that, try not to go out and take drinks from random people.
yep.
You feel what I'm saying?
Homegirls.
You have your homegirls with you. You feel me? Make sure you're in a safe environment, and that's not even if you're not dressing provocative. Just if you're gonna go out and drink, period. Just drink responsibly. You feel what I'm saying? Drink carefully. Make sure that you're protected.
Trust nobody.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, yes, I get what you're saying, seeing about the women, you know what I'm saying, however you're dressed and everything, but it's got to be on the guys too, because
It is.
just
It is.
because somebody dresses a certain way, that does not give you the right to put your hands on them. Like, yes, that might give you the right to say, hey,
Yes.
that person looks very attractive.
Yep.
Let me go spit some game and talk to them, get to know them, and, you know what I'm saying, try to see what I can do with that situation. But as far as grabbing somebody, you know what I'm saying, like,
Yeah.
yo, that's uncalled for.
Yeah, and that's
Because you don't even do that at a strip club. So,
Yeah.
Because
like,
the bouncer will kill you.
you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's like everything's
That
there.
should be life
so,
right there. It's
Yeah.
like, yo, you
and you still can't touch.
infiltrated
So,
somebody.
what makes you
Yeah.
think you
You
should
get
be able to
touched
touch
too.
and poke? Like,
Exactly.
just anybody. Like,
Yo,
nah.
and I'm gonna say this. You want to hear the crazy thing is? It's like, even if a girl have a bouncer, they'll be like, okay, you try to stop a guy from touching another girl, then there's like 10 other guys who are like, yo, you touch my homie. Yeah, your homie's trying to rape the girl, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get him to stay
what
off.
What those homies will do? Will they defend their guy? Say no, or is it, man? It's just
And
some random B.
No, you got.
And
you got
that's
some
a
people
very good
that'll-
question.
That'll sit
Yeah.
there and they'll ride for their bros, even when
Yeah.
their bros are
Bros
doing
doing
something
some
stupid.
crazy stuff.
So
I was
feel
gonna
me?
say later, said, man, you was wild last night, dude.
Yeah, and
That's all you gonna say.
you know, but even if you say you're wilding, Trevor, and
Yeah.
you technically don't have to fight for your boy. And for people who is in situations like that, what I would like to say, even if your homie is tipsy and he does something out of the ordinary, all you just got to be the boy to hold him. Not even super check him or gangster check him. Just be like, bro, you're tripping. Let's ride. Sometimes that's all it
Come
takes.
sit over here,
Come sit
right?
over here, bro.
Yep.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, there's ways for people to deteriorate someone from a situation
Deter.
or deter. Thank you, Davil. You feel what I'm saying? Without getting confrontational.
Yeah.
You feel me?
It's-
Yo, come over here. Come, let's go get another drink.
It's
You know?
pride, it's loyalty. It will mess you
Yeah.
up in there too, because you're thinking, "Oh, I'm just loyal to my boy, man. It's some random chick." No, we
Yeah.
gotta treat our women like queens. No matter you don't even know her or never
Yeah.
see her again. Still treat her like she's royalty, because that is our gift from God.
Yeah.
That's
One
true.
of our first major gifts.
Well, a lot of people don't see it as a gift anymore, Trev.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
You feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I mean, guys does not see women as a gift, and the ladies nowadays is not seeing a man as a king, in some sense, because we're talking about things like this in situations of this nature. I've realized people appreciate things that they should not appreciate, and put value in stuff that don't have no value. You know, because I see girls who get into I would say disruptive relationship, and you know this guy was beating his last girlfriend, and you get into a relationship with them, what do you expect was going to happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you got to start figuring out what you got to do to make sure that your mental sanity is taken care of.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, honestly, in that position, there's so many things going on. A lot of people, they don't know what to do. They know that person's abusive, but they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Because all these other feelings are involved. And that's why you got to have that support system. You got to have family, friends that are there for you and are there for your best interest. You know what I'm saying? That you can communicate with and they can check you. Yeah. That you're like, hey, if you ain't strong enough to get out of the situation, I'm going to be that person that's strong enough to say, yo, dead it. Like, let's go.
Sometimes you have situations where people aren't necessarily afraid of what, like, the person that's putting hands on them will do, but what the other person that they tell would do. True. Like, you feel me? Because like I have a sister of my own. I have goddaughters, stuff like that. Like, I have female homegirls. And I know, like, if I was told certain things that happened to them, I'd probably lose my self-control and go and try and fix it myself. Yeah. You feel me? Because you have that level of care. And if they know, like, you're that way, sometimes they don't want to tell you because they don't want you to do anything foolish. And it's a lot of factors that play into those type of things. When you watch the specials and stuff like that, where people are coming out and they're telling their stories and they're saying why they didn't say anything to anybody, like, it kind of gets to you because, like, in an inadvertent way, like, yeah, like, it happened to them, but they're also trying to make sure nothing happens to the people they care about as well. Yeah. So
it's how things affects people nowadays. You know, and well, I can say time has changed based on that aspect. Because I look at what girls do on social media nowadays. You know, how a lot of these fitness models, they show their bodies, and it's like, you know, how you think your kids will feel about how the way you're showing your body.
But okay, with fitness models, that's for fitness.
Yes,
there's difference between. Fitness models.
You got fitness, and then you have just straight up
delicious.
Look at the print.
Yeah.
Thought delicious. But I mean, but I'm gonna say it for the position that he's in and the allegations that's against him. I'm not trying to tell anybody how to vote. You know what I mean?
Definitely need to.
Well, I mean, according to. Because this is the problem with this whole situation. It's gonna come down to Republicans versus Democrats thing, and the Republicans, sad to say, it's very sad to see, they're gonna ride for this guy, and they're gonna defend him and they're gonna defend that vote that they make. And if they do that, then he's gonna go through.
Let me tell y'all what happened to me at my part-time job or whatever. Like, because y'all know I work at like whatchamacallit. You know what? I'm not gonna drop my location. But my part-time job,
keep that part-time
I'm
job.
Sitting here, and random dude comes in. Well, it's a pet store, so random dude comes in to get his dog groomed, and he was like an older white guy or whatever, and he was nice, like, you feel me? He was polite and stuff like that. And then he was sitting there, and he had to get his dog groomed, so he came back in. And he was one of those weird people that had the ramps for his dog to get into the car, like, and stuff like that. So I'm like, you know, like, some of the attention, like, these people give to their pets is insane. Like, treat their animals like royalty, but yeah, that's your family. So, you feel me? You can't knock it. So he's sitting there and he's like, oh, you know, I got shot in Vietnam, stabbed in Vietnam. I got almost blown up by a grenade and stuff like that. And you know what happened to me when we came back? I was like, what happened? He's like, oh, those Democrats, they spit on us. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, they spit on us when we came back at the airport. Like, they just looked at us like we weren't fighting for them or their freedoms or anything like that, or to keep them safe. They just started spitting at us. And he's like, for the life of me, I don't understand why, you know, blacks support the Democrats when they were the ones that were trying to enforce slavery way back when. And I was like, you know how, like, when your whole mental process, your thought process just goes skirt, like, and like halts. And I was sitting
Oh,
there
boy.
and I closed my eyes for a second because I had to remember where I was.
True, yeah, like, yes, hold up, I am on the clock.
Because I don't like conversations like that. I really don't. Like granted, I understand where he was coming from, but his choice of words they didn't agree with me. So like he was saying like, oh, the Republicans were the ones that were sitting here fighting, free you guys from slavery and stuff like that.
Okay.
And
Really?
you guys all root for the Democrats. It's like, I just don't understand. They wanted you guys in chains. And blah. And he's just going off. He's like, did you know that? Did you know all that? I was like, yeah, I've done some reading. Like, just like kind of nonchalant with it.
Yeah.
While I was trying to keep myself contained. So he's going off and off and off and off. And I just see some random lady walk by. I was like, excuse me, you need some help with something? And I just dipped off.
It's time to dip.
Because he had me like literally trapped in the conversation. There was nobody around for me to break off from that.
That's crazy.
And like, it was, oh my gosh.
And
dog.
and
Like,
there's a thing about that, man. It's like y'all know about the Southern strategy, right?
Southern strategy.
No.
Yeah, it happened during Nixon's reign. So basically, most black people were for Republicans, and white liberals were mostly Democratic.
Mm-hmm.
And Nixon's campaign manager came up with this Southern strategy as far as Nixon to deal with the South, and they basically would use code words or like dog whistles to say like, hey, we're not going to support black people. Like, instead of just being outright racist, they would use code words to be like, yeah, we're racist, but we're just not open about it. And we're going to make sure black people ain't going to rise up. And they would use they wouldn't use that direct language, but they would use dog whistle coded language to win campaigns. And like, just like we've seen now with Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying? Using that dog whistle coded language to basically say like, yo,
make America
I'm
great again.
racist, but I'm not saying that I'm racist. But we all know that I'm racist type. That language,
Well, I'm gonna give you a small
So
information.
it's not about black people being Democrats. It's about black people riding for our best interests. And right now, Democrats have our best interests.
Yes.
For right now.
For now. You know what I'm saying? They ain't solidified or
That's why I
anything.
want to become a moderate rather than just a Democrat.
Independent.
Oh, independent, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm like either or.
Yeah, it's what is good for the people now.
Yeah.
It's not for what one side think is good for the people, because yes, there have been a couple that you can say didn't technically do what you were hoping that they will do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? But on the sense that I can't just write for somebody because they're the lesser of both evil.
Right. Right.
Because I'm gonna say this. I find this from my belief, from my personal belief. I was a Bernie Sanders supporter. I like Bernie.
Yeah.
Bernie resonated with me when he talked about giving kids free college education.
I
So,
need that.
so I was very big on that. People saying Bernie was a socialist or he was a whatever they want to call. I was like, look, I'm going for free education.
Right.
Which one of y'all people talking about free education?
Nope. None of y'all.
None of
Just
y'all?
him?
All right,
Cool.
I'm looking at Bernie, guys.
They're
I'm
all
sorry.
sitting there like, oh, he wants to spend all this money to let them go to school for free. Blah. Meanwhile, you got this MF over here. Yeah, let's just build a giant wall.
Wall. Let's take billions of dollars, and you. Yes, you're right.
We gotta also remember nothing's free. I mean, yes, it's called free education, free healthcare, but this money does come from
It's gonna
somewhere.
come
Well,
from
I'm
somewhere.
gonna say that. All right,
course,
look, guys. Let's look at it from this way. When Donald Trump started about building a wall,
Yeah.
he said Mexico is going to pay for it. Mexico said they ain't paying for it. So he goes, look, this is what's going to happen now, guys. Now we're going to build a wall. We're going to pay for it. And Mexico is going to reimburse us for it.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, if that was a method that we're going to go with, right? If you could have given us free education, right? Let us get educated, put it back into the workforce, because everybody will have an education or has an easier path towards education, and that will actually put more money back into the American economy. So in some sense, we would repay that money back because that knowledge will go back to benefiting the country.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I'm not a politician, guys, but that's my opinion. Right now, instead of building a wall, all the veterans that are homeless ain't got no food, that we constantly see that's begging at the lights, at the gas stations, at the stoplights. We can build infrastructures where we can help give them work, or we can take all the trees that we see on the side of the road and build, and instead of making them like regular trees that don't bear fruit, make apple trees. We in Florida, make them orange trees. So when orange season comes around, it's free food.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? There's so many different things that we can do with the money that we're trying to use to build things that deteriorate from people. And I'm not saying, look, yes, there is an issue with illegal aliens, with illegal immigrant coming from Mexico to America. There is, right? But not saying to worry about them. Let's worry about the people that's here first. Let's take care of our people. And instead of getting foreign workers to build a wall, you can still take all those homeless veterans and put them out and help build your wall. Mm-hmm. So there's so much different ways that we can empower our people, but we're not. We're actually thinking about spending the money on other things.
Nah, dog out here looking for all the smoke because he's still trying to beef with China. So
Yeah, that's not going well.
Well, you know what? Elections coming up.
Yes, elections are coming, and that's the thing. Elections are coming up, and it's our time to
Midterms.
really put your issues on the table,
Yeah.
and vote for who's supporting, the things that you believe.
Yeah, support your
And
belief.
In Florida, where we reside,
Yeah.
we got a very important election coming up.
Yes.
For governor.
Yes.
Now we have this brother Andrew Gillum. He was mayor of Tallahassee,
Yes.
doing his thing,
Yes.
and he's decided to run for governor, and he got through the primaries.
Yes.
Now we're at the main election. It's him and I believe it's DeSantos. Him and DeSantos. But I'm proud to see Andrew Gillum. I've been supporting him since the primaries, and it's really nice to see the support he's getting now. I just found out he got $250,000 from Bloomberg for his campaign.
nice.
We don't know these things run on money, and DeSantos has got like hundreds of millions of dollars.
I mean, I think
They
the Cole
can
brothers are supporting him too.
push in.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money DeSantos is pushing in as a Republican, but this is a grassroots effort for Andrew Gillum. I've seen, as far as family members that I'm close with, I have a cousin that's like a fire chief up in Palm Coast. And Andrew Gillum's been over there, talking to them in their local forums and trying to get that support. So it's good to see him on his grind, like throughout the state.
Doing the groundwork.
Yeah, doing the groundwork. And let me just give some preface. Let me just preface this to say, like, hey, Andrew Gillum, his campaign does not directly benefit me. By me voting for Gillum, it's not going to benefit my pocket or benefit my household in any way. But I believe it's the right thing to do because we all need to rise up.
Right. We need to change here.
Yeah, it can't be about me as like, yo, I'm going to vote Republican because I'm going to get that tax cut. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that. It's about everyone rising up. And that's what Gillum's offering, man. He's really pushing healthcare. He's pushing higher salary for our teachers.
Yeah.
Our teachers get paid crap, man. I got a sister that's about to be a teacher next year. I need to make sure she's taken care of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Speaking of standing up for the people, like, you guys heard about the whole case in Chicago?
Yeah, you were talking about that, man.
Like, I'm real happy to see that, Chicago banding together to, support that, because, like, if anybody doesn't know, it was about the shooting of Laquan McDonald in 2014 by the cop.
Yeah.
What was his name? Van Dyke or whatever. They pretty much,
There was a lot of protest about it.
they pretty much found him guilty of second-degree murder. At first it was
Wow.
first degree. At first it was
Second-degree
first
murder.
degree. Now it's second degree. And basically, from what they were saying, is his testimony didn't match his video or the video that was shown.
Wow.
Because it was him and a couple of officers that were on the scene, and they lied for the testimony as well.
Wow.
She had locked up too.
And there was a
Yeah,
situation
that's
where
Yeah.
everything was trying to get swept under the rug and covered, and then they wouldn't release the video because, evidence, this, that, and the third. And from what he said in his testimony is that Laquan was aggressive, had a knife, and approached him with the knife, and he opened fire because he feared for his life. Now, I'm not, the sharpest tool in the shed, but I don't see what I get from running towards you with a knife when you have a fully loaded weapon. and you already pointing it at me. So basically, like Laquan, what it showed is that he turned around and he started walking away from the officer.
Yep.
And what the video showed is when he turned around and started walking away, he started shooting him. He fell to the floor and the cop kept shooting him. So altogether, he put 16 bullets in him.
Insane.
16. So
What was he firing?
I don't know, whatever they use for standard issue nowadays, but like it's
16 shots.
like by my assumption, he basically put a full clip in that kid.
Yeah.
Like, and if he already hit the ground and you're still pulling that trigger, that's insane. So like, as far as what is it? His initial charge, they were talking about like 4 to 20 years in prison for shooting, and well, let's see, which carries expressed relief that his client was not found guilty on first degree, which carries 20 years of life imprisonment. But that wasn't even it. They caught him with the second degree, and they charged him for every bullet he put in that kid.
Good.
So he got 16 additional charges on top of the charge for murder.
I like that.
He better go to jail for life. For real.
So like it was.
He don't need to come out.
Yep.
Yeah, they had
You kill innocent people, you're gonna go, man.
including police officers, doctors, nurses, paramedics, and experts in ballistics to analyze the video, and it was insane. Like his old testimony, they said like he was like emotionless. He looked like he recorded or rehearsed what he was saying and stuff like that. He didn't have any type of remorse.
Was he out on bail before?
He tried to be, and the judge denied it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was like, yo, we can't do that. And then like basically Chicago, the way that everything was going about is that a lot of the businesses were gonna close and not open, and like they all pretty much banded together as a city to make sure that it was dealt with.
Yeah.
And then I remember that episode of Scandal that they had where you had the African American gentleman who pretty much put the chair over his son's body after they pretty much got him to come identify his son or whatever.
Yeah.
And his son was gunned down by a police officer.
Yeah.
And the police officer planted the knife on him.
Yeah.
And he said like he's not moving from his son's body. Like nobody's gonna sit there and say that his son did this to an officer because he wouldn't.
Yeah, I remember that episode because if I remember correctly, Hooked basically hacked the cameras because they didn't get a chance to move his body, so they couldn't tamper with it anymore. So he was be able to show that he did not charge at the officer. You know, but I mean, I'm gonna say this, guys. You see how we're talking about these topics and police chiefs. A lot of these personnel who are tied up in this equation is there because someone put them there.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Remember, you have to vote for your mayors.
That's right.
You actually have to vote for your police chiefs, right? And if you're in police, if you're the chief of police, you should be actually fully examining some of these people that you have selected as police officers for your district or your division.
Right.
You feel me? So, and in that sense, in the fact that elections coming around and we have the opportunity to vote.
Yep. November 6th, yo.
You feel what I'm saying? In all these aspects, go out and vote. If you have the opportunity to vote and you don't vote, please do not start complaining.
Yeah.
No more talking.
No more talking.
Unless you want to vote next time. Like, please vote. That's
no,
the whole point.
and I'm not to say that here you're going to vote next time.
to.
Like, don't talk unless you vote.
Yeah.
So if you vote and then didn't go your way, you have all right to complain because you can be like, I voted and they still didn't believe it. They still didn't listen to me. I can take that. I can deal with.
Yeah.
But if you don't vote and then you're complaining about the process or the policies, you're part of the problem, not the solution.
Yeah, and remember, like, even if you do, especially on the local issues, man, even if you do vote and and it doesn't get, a certain proposition doesn't get passed, you have the opportunity to bring that up again to your city council. So it is important that you do vote so that you can say, hey, I did vote for this. You guys didn't publicize the information on it enough for everyone to make an educational vote about it.
Yes.
I mean, this is something we're going through as far as the roads in Palm Bay. Like, there's been times and times again, we voted for infrastructure and roads to be restored, but it just either, it wasn't the right way they wanted to do it. We didn't want to get the money from a certain source. So it's those type of things come up on the ballot year after year after year in different forms. And that's why it's important for you to get involved locally, because that affects you.
And learn your policies, learn what's on these ballots. Like,
yes.
I want you to understand, guys, when there's a time for an election, they tell you what's on some of these ballots. And it's printed there on the internet. You can Google what's on the ballot.
A lot of newspapers break down the issues on the ballots. They're really good about that.
Yeah. So if that's your concern, read it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Gain that knowledge. Knowledge is power. Gain that power. Trevor said something earlier about going independent. If I had my preference, I think that would have been the way I would view things as well. Because I'm technically don't want to tie to one party. Because as I said earlier, if I had a choice, I would have voted for Bernie. Right. But then again, we got Hillary. So I didn't agreed with what Hillary stands for. And that's just my opinion. I still don't agree with Trump's opinion. And if it came down to the best of which one is the lesser evil, I choose none. Because I choose no evil. Right. So that's why I try not to complain about Trump. Right. And I try not to say anything when it comes to the democratical thought of Hillary, because the person who I wanted to be in there was not there. Right. So I can talk. That's why I can consistently say, look, Bernie didn't make it. Mm-hmm. So the person who I voted for technically wasn't there. So that's my case. And then that's my case against Trump as well, in a sense that I thought Bernie would have been a better choice than Trump. But then again, I'm not going to keep knocking Trump. I know Trump did make a deal with Canada and Mexico, which is supposed to be working out a little bit better, so he did get some points to that. And I don't want to be the person to highlight somebody else's downfall, so I want to highlight their success as well. So, which is a good thing. There's always a good thing when our country is uniting, and I mean, when they're uniting for not military cause, in a sense that we're trying to hurt people, that's one thing, but it's something that's going to be beneficial to both countries. And it's actually pertaining to the whole wall thing as well. I don't have all the full details on it, so I can't elaborate on it anymore. But I want to give some shout out for that, for all the countries working together. Okay. Because we all can learn something from some of these countries. Mexico has the nice weather down there. Canada got free healthcare. Let's see if we can combine some of these things.
Nice weather over there too.
You know what I mean? It's not free, y'all. Somebody's got to pay for it.
Somebody got to pay for it. But look,
somebody got to pay for it.
Yo, we the citizen pay for prisoners, right?
Yeah.
If I'm gonna pay for prisoner, I might as well pay for some healthcare. I'm just keeping it real. Our Medicare. I'm keeping it real.
We gotta get out of that free healthcare thing, because it's dangerous. Because it's not free. The money comes from somewhere. So that's like a child saying, "Well, mom, dad, our food is free, right? Mom, dad, this home." Like, no, this comes out of the house budget.
I still remember the
you know what I'm saying? So
where it's like you were a kid and groceries just appeared.
Yeah, you just eat.
And then like you were sitting there going grocery shopping with mom, and she's just grabbing stuff off the counter or whatever. And then
it's funny how you don't even remember the part about your mom getting that money out and paying. You never remember that part.
You remember her going to work every day.
As you get older, your perception changes, and then you see her, okay, she pulls out that green stuff to basically, pay for stuff, or she pulls out that plastic thing. I remember when that card was like a magical thing, dog. Like, I got all this, and then all you do is just give them that card, and you walk out.
That's it.
What? And then you start learning
that card in my life
and stuff like that. And then you get older, and you're like, okay, I can't wait to get a job. And then you get a job and stuff like that. You start banking, and you're like, flexing, like, you're making that little $8.50 an hour, that's $7.25. You get that first paycheck.
I remember my first $7.25.
A couple $100, and you're sitting there like, oh yeah, I'm flexing now. Like, you think
making
you're
it rain on your bed.
What?
Yes.
Yo, for real.
No bills.
Tell me, yo, give me that 100 and
You're
singles.
like, you know what? Yeah. I'm gonna get me a car. And then you save up, get yourself your first car, and like, yeah, I'm driving now. Oh, you got to pay for your plates. What's that? You got to pay for registration. What's registration?
Insurance.
And you got to pay for car insurance. What are you talking about? Yeah. So then you start seeing all that stack up, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you get used to paying that, and you're like, you know what? get my own place now, stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. Hey, you got to pay for your application fee. Hey, you got to pay for this. You got to pay for that. Water, electricity, that, and the third. And then after a while, once all this stacks up and you're sitting there, you're like, yo, I want to be 5 again.
Oh, to be young again and back on the school.
Yeah, where you're washing your own clothes. You don't have to. You're not tucking your stuff away.
What?
Everything's being done for. All you got to do is get up and go to school.
That's all you had to worry about. Like everything else is taken care of for you.
Yeah,
and like that's the type of mentality that we don't want to have when it comes to our country. You feel me? Like, don't leave it in somebody else's hands. The people have as much power as the government does.
Well, I mean, Dennis, I'm beg to differ in that statement, but still, because I'm a look at it. When George Bush went up against Al Gore, right? Who won that? The people voted for Al Gore. I want to get that correctly, but George Bush got the electoral vote.
But that's what I mean. That's why you have to have the knowledge.
You have to have the knowledge.
You have to know, because you have to understand that the electoral college is the voting. That's the voting standard for the United States of America.
It is.
So though you might think Al Gore won, George Bush won.
Yeah,
because that's the way we base our election. It's not about who wins the popular vote.
We should just stop showing that then.
That popular vote number.
What's the point of telling us?
Yeah, that's true.
It's the same thing for Trump. Like,
Hillary won the popular vote.
Yeah, so why tell us when we're...
Wait, what?
Hillary won the popular vote.
I thought she didn't.
No,
she
talking
did.
about certain states overall.
Yes, overall she won.
That's why when they showed the video of Trump's office and he was
you gotta fact check that.
Fact check it.
Because I thought Trump won one.
No,
like,
he won
that he won.
No, he won the electoral vote.
When he was sitting there and he was surprised himself when they showed like zoomed in on him in the office, because he was like, "Yo, I won." And they were all looking at each other. They're like, yay. Like that type of thing. Because he thought that he took the L on that one.
Yeah. The electoral college he got.
They got that vicious okie doke, dog.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
I realized that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
3 million.
Yeah. I just want that to sink in.
That electoral college, yo. This would have been a question, Donville. And Donville, I'm asking you this question because you're a little bit knowledgeable in this matter. Yeah.
How does the electoral college really work in that vote? Because if we the people don't have no say in that matter, it's like, is it a group of people that is like a cookout?
So here's the problem with the popular vote and the United States of America. Like, it's like Saturday afternoon, so I can't go into all specifics, but the popular vote doesn't necessarily reflect representation of each state. So what is it? So each state, instead of each state having one vote,
yes,
they would have I don't got time to go into all this stuff, but it's Saturday afternoon. But basically, it was the popular vote. It wasn't fair.
Mm-hmm.
Like, though it might seem fair, it really wasn't, because you had other states that might have less population that were being underrepresented in ways that they shouldn't have been.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just based on the amount of people that live in that state. So to balance it out, they chose electoral college, which allows you to have you have every state has 2 senators, of course, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have your House of Representatives, which is based on the population of your state. So your representatives and your 2 senators create that number for the electoral college. So that number can't change based on the population within your state. But it's just a fair way. I think it is fair. And I don't know why they keep showing the popular vote, because it doesn't matter anymore.
We need to put people that will vote the way we want to vote.
Well,
because that's the thing you have. Sorry, that's the thing you got to remember. You're not voting. Yes, you are voting, but you're voting for that representative to cast the vote for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that representative is representing you in their votes, but
so that's why midterms are.
it's like a transfer. Yes.
Yo, did you hear about that chick that voted when she wasn't supposed to, and she got sentenced to like 20 years in prison?
Oh yeah, it's serious.
Sounds.
Dog.
It's serious.
Sure, that sounds horrible.
I was like,
it's serious.
Just stay home.
I'm like, I understand you wanted to make a difference, but
Oh, she
Yeah.
did make a difference. She just exposed the fact that there's people who was voting fake.
And that's
They
the
ain't supposed to be
thing.
voting.
People have to, you have to go to vote.org. They had a simple site. Go to the state that you live at. Click on that. It'll give you the information to when the deadline is to register. Because in the state of Florida, the deadline is October 9th.
All right.
But you have some states that their deadline is like 15 days from the time of voting.
Right.
So just do due diligence. Everybody got phones. Everybody got internet access nowadays.
Yeah.
Go online. It's so easy to just register to vote. You put like your date of birth, some little personal information in there, and then boom, you're registered to vote.
Yeah.
And then come November 6th, you should have you should get information about where your voting office is, and you can go out and cast your ballot, man. But it's a great thing to do, even if, let's say, like, even if the issues that you vote on don't go through. Hey, you did your part. And it goes back to another thing I want to mention that I think is very important. A lot of people overlook is like that local involvement. Get involved with find out, even if you're not able to make it to the city council meetings, they're required to have these meetings. They're required to have minutes and documentation of what goes on in these meetings. Go online, do your due diligence, look it up, and see what's going on in your community, because there's a lot of things going on even in our local community that if you didn't go out and look at those meeting minutes and see what's going on, you wouldn't know until it happened. And you didn't realize, like, yo, we can actually vote on this. Or wait, we can go to a meeting and they're talking about this and I could give my input, like, hey, I really think this is a bad idea. It matters, because that's even though these discussions are on a ballot, they're being discussed and the city council is voting for these issues. So if you're there, they give you that form. They do give you that form to stand up and say, hey, I think it's a great idea. I think it's not, and blah, blah, blah. And this is why. And that's all documented. They take that input, so it's very important. Even if you have the time to do it, I recommend, please go to your city website. It's normally there under city council meetings, whatever. And look at the agenda. Look at what's going on in your community and just try to give some kind of input, man.
Find a solution.
It's important.
Don't sit there and complain.
Yes. Be the solution.
Like, I'm trying to find a solution of how come how come what do you call it? Medical marijuana still haven't fully passed yet. I'm still not understanding that at all.
It should
If you haven't
pass in
noticed
Florida.
it strongly bases off of location.
Well,
Like,
hurried it up, and
look at where we live. We live in basically the port. You feel me? So, like, if you look at it from a government standpoint, this is probably the easiest state for anybody to go from 0 to like 1 million.
Yeah.
Because, like, you'll sit there and they go ahead and they legalize it right here. And then you have that one dude who was peddling since like the 90s or whatever, sets up an official business, starts running stuff from other countries in the state and stuff like that. Next thing you know, bam.
Well, I'm gonna say this, guys.
Instant 100 millionaire.
And
like,
for somebody to get a license to have a marijuana dispensary, it's $100,000.
And you think, I'm pretty sure, like,
but there
real quick.
There's people. The law has been passed. It's been enforced in different areas. As you say, it's city based. You can get medical marijuana now, but it's still at a sense that if you think about what we do, and I can talk about for all four of us here, what we do for a living, even if the law of medical marijuana is passed, it still wouldn't benefit us.
I think it's 3.
I remember
somebody's company.
No, well, its company is different in some sense, but it's not like ours.
I was watching.
So
this,
his is a little bit different. It's it's a get through the gate. If anything that's necessarily needed, it will refer back to. But I do know our company is on a constant hunt to make sure certain things are not being done. But in I want to say in that sense. But yes, Trevor, Herbalife. There's a couple places in Miami now where you can go see a doctor and you can get prescribed what you're technically needed. But in the locations, like for where we're at this moment recording in this location, it's a little bit different. So it's more than just the whole state. It's more county wise.
Okay.
Wow.
So it's here, but it's just not passed the way you're talking about, Trev, is the way California is passing it. It's the way like Colorado as it's statewide. It's now
even Washington, right?
Washington, yes. Yeah. And I want to say something crazy, and not to put Florida under a microscope, guys. For any government official who does listen to us, majority of those states who's legalized marijuana and decriminalizing it level has benefited. Incarceration has gone down, and the finance for the state has increased by actually $10 billion. I want to make sure I give some very accurate number, right? Is increased by $10 billion. California itself, with the fact that they have some legalization of marijuana, helped pull America out of its economic depression. I mean, and I want you guys to realize that's no longer a conversation anymore because they have certain areas in the country that's generating enough finance to help compensate for what they're doing. And I think that's what's stopping a lot of other states, because you technically don't need all the state yet. But I want you to remember, Florida itself has one of the highest rate of incarceration, especially on drugs, because majority of the drugs that are sold in Florida can be grown or are made here because of the subtropical climate. But I want to say this, guys. For our positive thought of the week while I'm wrapping up.
No. I had another thing to add about that. There's a video I had seen the other day. It was this kid sitting in class, a little white kid sitting in class, and the teacher is passing around this sheet. I don't know if you guys remember getting those where you promise to stay drug free and everything like that.
Yeah, dare.
Yeah. So like she's passing around the class, and the kid's like, he refused to sign it. Dang. And she was like, why are you refusing to sign the paper and stuff like that? He's like, it doesn't make sense to me. So why would I sign it? And she's like, yeah, but don't you know that drugs kill people and stuff like that? And like, people that take drugs and use drugs are bad and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, but he's like, I also know that drug money's been supporting and uplifting our economy since the 1950s. And this kid's like 8 years old. And the teacher is sitting there and he was like, oh, do you know about such and such? I forgot the term that he used or whatever. And he was basically explaining to the teacher how the drug money was being used to fuel the U.S. economy when everything was on the crash. So like, as far as like, the whole Depression era and everything like that and everything that came afterwards, like mad drug money was being like peddled through the country, and that's what pretty much we were getting supported on. And she sat there and she couldn't say anything. He's like, I'm not gonna sign a paper to outlaw something that literally got us to this point. So as far as what your standpoint is on it, I understand what you're saying. Yeah. But I see the benefit from it. So I can't sign that.
I see that, but you also gotta realize we're in a new age, man. It's like back when we were growing up, it's about marijuana and heroin and the gateway drugs, right? It was like a level. There was a level to the drug game. You know what I'm saying? When we were growing up, but now it's like it's straight up heroin. Like these pills is heroin, heroin in a pill form that you get prescribed to you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not no what you call it was like ecstasy pills. It was basically like rat poison. Right. It's not stuff like that. These are a prescription that people are overdosing on, man. Like it's crazy. I don't want to get too personal, give away personal things, but I've seen parents coming to schools looking like they're like cracked out on some type of prescription drugs. Wow. It's scary, bro. So like, it's definitely a problem, man. It needs to be addressed. But I don't know, when it comes to marijuana, like to each his own, man. Well, we all have to be productive adults. That's the most important thing.
Well, and it's not just marijuana, because I want to say it like this. We have different things that we can benefit from. A lot of other resources that's actually considered illegal, right? But they're natural in the sense that we can gain benefit from it. It just has to give scientists and doctors the opportunity to research it. As of right now, marijuana is under the microscope because not just from the medical benefit that it can help from seizures and glaucoma, but you can actually have stuff like hemp, right? That makes that clothing, rope, and shoes. But based on the fact that we have all these things that comes up on ballot each year that we have the opportunity to fix, right? It brings me to my positive thought of the day. If you want to make a change, especially in your country, just go out and vote.
Okay.
Don't stand there and wait for somebody else to make a difference for you. You got to go make a difference for yourself. Yo, guys, One Pot Podcast, episode 24. We out.
Peace.